No. You can march back out. You can march back out. No, you can march.
No.
Seriously. Get out. Get out.
Get out. Video their car.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We got to talk about a story out of Georgia where two women who work at a Lululemon store were fired for filming a robbery live while it was happening and calling the police afterwards to report it. Now, apparently, it's against company policy to intervene with a robbery in case it's happening. You're not supposed to intervene. But, I mean, you know, we saw the video in the intro. It's not like they tried to fight these guys. They didn't try to pull the clothes out of their hands. I mean, they said, no, stop, don't do that. You know, they were doing whatever they could. I mean, this seems backwards to me to fire them. I understand company policy, but they could have sat back and just watched and did absolutely nothing. But they at least tried to do something. You know what I mean? Like, they got it on camera at the very least. You know, yeah. So to me, backwards. I understand that it's company policy, but I think firing them is just it's a bit extreme. You know, they could have got hurt. Like, this could have went south. It could have been bad. It could have been a lot worse than what it actually was. And, you know, to fire them for this instead of giving them some sort of reward to have to put up with this is, like I said, it's just backwards. I don't really get it. But we're about to get into this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe while we watching. Now let's roll it.
No.
Seriously. Get out.
Two Georgia women say they were fired from their jobs at Lululemon after calling police to report this robbery, which one of them caught on camera.
No, you can march.
Jennifer Ferguson and Rachel Rogers describing to NBC affiliate 11 Alive Atlanta the horrifying moments the merchandise at the Peachtree Corner store was stolen.
They swiped until they couldn't hold any more product and ran out the door.
We didn't really feel very protected or know what else to do.
The women say they were fired from their jobs after they decided to call the police about the shoplifting, something they say they were told is against company policy. So what are they supposed to do instead?
You kind of clear a path for whatever they're going to do, and then after it's over, you scan a QR code.
Rogers, who says she's worked at the company for 5 years, claims that the store has been dealing with thefts for months, recalling another incident.
Someone sent me a picture of the front entrance table, and I was like, oh my gosh, we just sold all the product, good job. And they were like, no, someone just came in and stole everything.
But this was the first time she knows of someone at the store calling police, which local authorities confirm. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office says 3 men have been charged with theft by shoplifting and theft by receiving stolen property from that incident.
So really quick, they said that robberies have been occurring, but this is the first time that someone has actually called the police. So calling the police is what got them fired? You can't call the police when there's a robbery? What this just don't make any sense.
And they're currently in the Fayette County Jail. Videos of brazen shoplifting have gone viral from stores across the country, and it's common practice for retailers to tell their employees not to intervene.
80% of retailers are experiencing violent incidents. One is to tell folks you should not be interfering or apprehending folks if you do not have the training.
And while a punishment after calling the police for shoplifting might be head-scratching to some, retail trade organizations say it might be more common than you think because some stores have relationships with law enforcement and don't want to waste resources on petty crime.
They don't want to waste their time on what may be an entry-level shoplifting issue when they could be doing something else, because then they're not necessarily going to be as quick to respond the next time when they do need someone there.
Ferguson and Rogers say their actions led to their termination for vague reasoning.
They have a no tolerance policy.
They said because they have a zero tolerance policy.
We tried calling the store and reaching out to Lululemon's corporate offices and did not hear back. Both women now adjusting to their new lives after the April incident.
That was my sole income, so I did have to file for unemployment and use all of my savings to pay for my car payment.
It put us in a bit of a bind. My husband is self-employed, so we're trying to figure out insurance.
I get it. You don't want an employee getting hurt. That makes perfect sense. But like they said in the video, this has become just like a common thing. I mean, this is something that you wouldn't think is happening unless you're tapped into certain spaces or pockets on Twitter or Facebook or wherever where you can actually see these videos. And I've been seeing stuff like this all year. Matter of fact, since last year, I've been seeing stuff like this on the internet, like current, recent things like this happen on the internet for quite some time. And yeah, I don't understand. So from my perspective, yeah, I don't think it's on the employee to stop or apprehend these individuals. It's not worth losing your life over. Absolutely not. If I worked at Lululemon, would I try to go tackle somebody robbing the store? No. The fact that this is just considered petty, like the guy said, Lululemon has a relationship with the police and they don't want to waste time or resources on something that's considered petty. But I think this is beyond petty. This is three dudes walking into a store. Lululemon has some expensive merchandise. Go on the Lululemon store. I've seen a few of their items. Lululemon is some expensive athletic wear, workout clothes, whatever. They probably walked out of there with. I saw the stuff that they was carrying out. I think they walked out of there with at least over $1,000 worth of gear. And it's an organized, premeditated attack on a store. I mean, this shouldn't just be considered petty. The bar for what's considered petty has really changed. Like petty, okay, you're robbing a candy bar, you know what I'm saying? Like something petty, like candy bar, toy, whatever. Okay, petty, I hear you. But you walking out the store with $1,000 worth of merchandise with you and two of your buddies, y'all plan to hit on a Lululemon store so you could take the clothes and resell them. Like, that's organized crime. The fact that this is starting to become just more and more normal, people are getting desensitized to this happening, just that says something to the erosion of the society in which we live in, where this is just like, oh, whatever. She said that they're supposed to clear a path. They're supposed to just clear a path for the robbers and just let them go. You can't call the police. But let's read this article to wrap it up. 2 former employees say they were fired from a Georgia Lululemon store for allegedly breaking company policy when they called the police to report a robbery at their store. Jennifer Ferguson and Rachel Rogers told local outlets they reached out to authorities after a group of robbers came to their store in Peachtree Corners, despite company policy that says employees should not intervene in robberies. We didn't really feel very protected or know what else to do, Rogers told local TV station 11 Alive. And, I know these guys was wearing masks and everything, but, I mean, the least you could do is pull your camera out and record. That might stop them from doing something. You never know what could happen in a situation like that. One of those workers, one of those female workers could have been harmed. So pulling out their camera and recording it could have, deterred something way worse from happening, because people, these criminals could have the sense to tell themselves, okay, I don't want to be caught on camera, shooting somebody or harming somebody. So that could be a deterrent. I don't see why filming would be a problem. We are not supposed to get in the way, Ferguson told the outlet. You kind of clear a path for whatever they're going to do, and then after it's over, you scan a QR code, and that's that. We've been told not to put it in any notes because that might scare other people. We're not supposed to call the police, not really supposed to talk about it. Both women said they were fired over a Zoom call with regional Lululemon officials who said the company had a zero tolerance policy regarding the incident. 11 Alive reported. Their former employees said that they were working through how to deal with sudden firing financially, and hope Lululemon considers changing the policy. The problem is that there isn't a zero tolerance policy to what those dudes went into the store and did. It needs to be a zero tolerance policy for that. And I know that's not exactly Lululemon's fault. You know, that's with you know, lawmakers and you know, law officials, policemen, the police force. That's with them. But yeah, it should be a zero tolerance policy for just walking into a store and just ransacking the place. A Lululemon spokesperson told Insider in a statement that the safety and security of its staffers and shoppers is a top priority, and the company has policies and protocols in place to uphold a safe environment. We take thefts and vandalism very seriously, and our focus right now is supporting our educators as well as continuing to collaborate with local partners and law enforcement, the spokesperson said. Company policy shared with Insider further indicates the women were likely fired for recording and interacting with the robbers rather than for calling the police. In a video shared with the local media outlets and on social media, Ferguson and Rogers can be heard yelling at the robbers to stop and leave the store. Local police confirmed to NBC News that the 3 robbers seen in the video were arrested and charged with felonies, and bystanders reported a robbery in an Atlanta suburb the next day. All right, so that's good. They apparently caught up with these guys, and, you know, they got them. That's good. Rogers told WSB-TV she believes the string of robberies are a part of a larger scheme involving returning stolen merchandise for cash. A lawyer representing a group of retailers in Massachusetts told NBC News that many companies have non-interference policies when it comes to robberies for employee safety and may discourage reporting incidents to the police for a variety of reasons. I would love to hear these reasons. They don't want to waste their time on what may be an entry-level shoplifting issue when they could be doing something else, because then they're not necessarily going to be as quick to respond next time when they do need someone there. Ryan Kearney told NBC News. From a societal standpoint, it just seems like we're becoming more and more forgiving and less harsh on criminals and people doing criminal behavior, people doing criminal things. And when you have that type of environment, you know, where you soft on crime, criminals gonna take advantage of it. And that's why we see so much of this happening. I mean, it's not like theft is something new, but I'm not gonna lie to you. The blatant walking into the store and just ransacking the place, that has to be new. I don't remember. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't remember growing up, even in my late teenage and early 20s. I don't remember coming up, seeing people just looting the stores like this, you know. But I see this a lot. You can go on the internet. They got full-on compilations of it. You could go and look this stuff up on the internet. Unfortunate that the ladies got fired. They did what they could. They recorded it. These dudes got arrested, which is good. Hopefully these two can bounce back and get back on their feet. It really is a shame that they were let go for simply recording and, you know, telling these guys to leave the store. That doesn't make sense to me. But don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we're at the door. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments down below. And until next time, you guys, I'm out of here. Peace.